Homosexuality has always been a controversial topic. When I was in school, we were taught that sexual orientation is no different than preferring the color orange over the color blue, or preferring pizza over spaghetti. Just because you prefer the color orange over blue doesn't mean that your brain has a different programming than the average one. So why would it be the same for homosexuality? Well, it turns out there is actually a difference between the brain anatomy of gays and lesbians than straight people. Not only that, there's actually many ways in which a mother can determine the sexual orientation of their child. First, let's break down the brain structure of homosexuals. Many studies have concluded that the brain of gays and lesbians have the same anatomy of their opposite sex. For example, the brain of a gay person is similar to that of a straight woman than a straight man, and a brain of a lesbian is more like that of a straight man than a straight woman. One could actually make the argument that a homosexual is just a woman in a man's body and a lesbian is just a man in a woman's body. Now let's get down to the real question. What makes a person gay? Studies have concluded that there is an area of the human brain called INAH3, which is short for third interstitial nucleus of the anterior hypothalamus. According to researchers, this area of the brain determines the sexual preference of a person. Simon LeVay and many others have published studies that reported that INAH3 in a homosexual is much smaller to that of a heterosexual man. As a matter of fact, it is the same of that as a heterosexual woman, concluding that INAH3 is a major indicator of determining someone's sexual orientation. What determines the size of INAH3 is the amount of testosterone the mother intakes during pregnancy. When a male fetus is being developed inside the mother, the brain function begins as female, including the INAH3, and Bedstria terminalis, which determines sexual identity. During the first 12 weeks after conception, if the fetus receives enough testosterone, the INAH3 will enlarge and develop typical male behavior, including sexual attraction to women. If the male fetus does not receive enough testosterone in the first 12 weeks, then the brain function of the fetus will remain female, including the INAH3. The same goes for female fetuses. If a female receives too much testosterone while inside the mother, the INAH3 may enlarge, increasing same-sex attraction. Other factors play a role in determining one's sexual orientation. One theory is the sexually dysmorphic nucleus of the preoptic area, or SDNPOA. The sexually dysmorphic nucleus is a group of cells situated in the preoptic area of the hypothalamus. Research conducted in laboratory animals suggests that this nucleus plays a role in regulating sexual behavior. In humans, studies have associated the sexually dysmorphic nucleus of the preoptic area with sexual orientation. Like INAH3, this area can be affected during a mother's pregnancy by increasing levels of estrogen and estrogen-like compounds, particularly bisphenol A. Bisphenol A, or BPA, is a widely manufactured chemical, primarily utilized in the production of polycarbonated plastics. It is found in various products including metal food cans, water bottles, bottle tops, and water pipes. BPA is known to disrupt many male hormones, including the androgen receptor, which is protein found inside cells that serves as a receptor for androgen hormones, such as testosterone and dihydrotestosterone. Androgens are male sex hormones. When androgens bind to the androgen receptor, it initiates a series of cellular responses, influence gene expression, and play a crucial role in the development and maintenance of male reproductive tissues and secondary sexual characteristics. In males, androgen receptors are involved in the development of testes, prostate, and other reproductive organs. They also contribute to the development of male secondary sexual characteristics like facial hair, deepening of the voice, and muscle mass. This area of male reproduction organs and sexual characteristics can be affected from long-term exposure to bisphenol A. Another study shows a large indication is that of thyroid dysfunction in the mother during pregnancy. This prospective paper explores a theory proposing a connection between maternal thyroid dysfunction during pregnancy and an increased likelihood of same-sex attraction in offspring. Notably, lesbian women exhibit a higher prevalence of Hashimoto disease, indicating a potential familial presence of autoimmune thyroid disorders. Female-to-male transsexuals and lesbian women also display higher rates of polycystic ovary syndrome, PCOS, increasingly linked with thyroid autoimmunity. Furthermore, there's an association between maternal thyroid dysfunction and an elevated risk of autism spectrum disorders in the offspring. This correlation extends to gender dysphoria, suggesting a complex interplay between thyroid function and the development of same-sex attraction. Additionally, pregnancies involving homosexual offspring are marked by a higher risk of miscarriage and fetal growth retardation. This is attributed to the effects of maternal thyroid dysfunction during pregnancy. Maternal immune responses during fetal development are proposed as a significant factor contributing to male homosexuality and bisexuality. Research indicates a fraternal birth order effect with an increased likelihood of later born sons being gay. Male cells from the fetus enter the mother's bloodstream, prompting the development of antibodies. These antibodies released on future male fetuses may neutralize Y-linked antigens involved in brain masculinization, leading to the expression of sexual attraction in female typical patterns. The observed fraternal birth order effect suggests that the more sons of a mother has, the higher the levels of these antibodies. A lab study in 2017 supported this effect, showing elevated levels of antibodies to the NLGN4YY protein in mothers with gay sons, particularly those with older brothers. Maternal immune responses are considered a causal factor in approximately 15 to 29% of gay men, with other factors like genetics and hormonal interactions playing a role in sexual orientation for the remaining individuals. From my research, it seems to me that homosexuality is often a result of a mother's actions while pregnant. Consuming estrogen, whether chemicals, medication, or whatnot, plays a huge role in determining whether her son is gay, and consuming too much testosterone can contribute to the odds of her daughter becoming a lesbian. Not only do these actions contribute to the sexual orientation of her offspring, but also their sexual identity, as there is a link between too much testosterone and female to male transsexuals, and too much estrogen to male to female transsexuals. However, most people that want to transition but don't commit to it end up coming out as gay, and this makes sense due to the previous part about gays having the same brain as straight women and lesbians having the same brain as straight males. Now, I know this may stir up some controversy, even though no one watches my videos anyway, but I want to make myself clear. I'm not against the gay trans community, but it is important to break down the science of the cause and potentially the change of one's sexual orientation, because although nothing should ever be encouraged upon anyone on either side, people such as the parents should have the knowledge to know that their actions determine the sexual orientation of their child, and they should have the right to choose what to do with that information, as well as the individual who's considering to pay $50,000 for a sex change should know that there's a big indication that maybe he's just gay and nothing more. There has been many revelations of certain chemical compounds that have turned people gay. In 2011, a Frenchman named Didier Yambard sued the pharmaceutical company GlaxoSmithKline, claiming that the Parkinson drug Requip made him addicted to gambling and gay sex despite being married to his wife and 2 kids. The chemical atrazine that is often in the water system and is also used in pesticides to spray down crops is known to castrate male frogs and turn them female. In 1994, the United States Air Force proposed a gay bomb that would be sprayed on their enemies, making them gay. The declassified document titled Harassing, Annoying, and Bad Guy Identifying Chemicals reveals the Air Force proposing certain chemicals that could turn people gay. The chemicals were never disclosed. The reason I bring this up is that if there are chemicals that makes people attracted to the opposite sex, then there should be a possibility that there are chemicals or any procedure that can make someone straight. Again, I am not homophobic or anything, but I believe that individuals should have the freedom to decide what they do with their own lives, especially their sexual orientation.